BrokenBlade is down, but now G2 is looking for a counter punch here in the bottom side instead. IU's going to be in some danger. Slam back into the wall from Labrov, but now dashes away to try to escape. Flash from Hansama and G.
For skewmond to save his top laner.
Yeah, this would be a big one there for skewmond. Immediately BrokenBlade trying to jump in with a counter ulti as Gigo is gone too far, and it's a beautiful shutdown from skewmond. He's ready to chase him down with a my ulti. Toots tries to escape with a seismic shove defensively, but Caps is on the hunt. He clears the unraveled earth. Another charge of the Spirit Rush is ready to go, and Toots is trapped. Cut off, tag with the wind becomes lightning. Toots trying to get away alongside IU, but Toots is going to be your target as Hansama looks for a little bit more damage. Apotheosis from IU, a lot of damage back into skewmond. Tatu's going in, IU's got the kill into skewmond, and now BrokenBlade's in the middle of everybody. A double kill back over to Nila. G2 have lost 2. Labrov trying to retreat now. Caps caught out. Gigo even now right back up into the top side. Caps wanted to get the tier 2 tournament, and yes, he will, but can he get away at the same time? Be a huge, this is the most fed member of Furia, and he is now getting caught out. If Gigo dies before the fight starts, G2 might have just found the pick to turn the game on its head. The shutdown over to skewmond, but it will be traded back 1 for 1.
IU.
Now IU's ready to show up, but he's isolated. IU's over on the other side of the fight. He's all alone. He has to flash over the wall to join up with the rest of the team. But Caps is already down. Tatu's got the kill into Caps, and Toots is not done chasing. BrokenBlade and Hansama are on the run. Toots flashes over the wall, and BB tries to bite back, but the dog's been declawed, and BrokenBlade is down again. Right when it looks like G2 found their moment, Furia found G2.
Mon and G2 dies. His decision making has been so good. Now with the Baron.
Here we go again, man. BrokenBlade with another defensive ulti here with the Warwick. Gigo is behind enemy lines. Now getting jumped on by skewmond over the wall, but Gigo is not down. Yes. The healing from the Aatrox baits in Hansama, and Furia is furious in the face of G2 Esports. The inhibitor turret in mid lane broken as the inhibitor is about to follow. Gigo is back in the base, but he's got his teleport. He's joining back up with the rest of Furia. It's a 5-man push with a Baron against 3 G2 defenders. Furia has made their way onto the Nexus turrets. The first is already down. G2 are out of sorts. They cannot defend. Caps has to flash away from the Apotheosis just to survive, but the rest of G2 cannot do the same. Furia win the first game of MSI 2025. Caps, but Caps playing towards another side.
Skewmond.
Skewmond might just be able to turn this one around. Gigo in some trouble this time around. Top lane's not looking the same as game 1, and it's first blood.
Available, so we'll see if BB cannot play this.
Yeah, this is pretty dangerous. Jack's very effective at defending against these types of situations. Gigo is about to die to the turret. He barely gets away. Tatu needs a little bit more distance to close into BrokenBlade, and he finds it finally there with that last Q. So Furia gets their man. Gigo barely survives. That's a 2-1 game now for the side of Furia, but it does come at the cost of G2 Esports claiming all 3 grubs on the other side of the map. Now skewmond firing off the ulti, wants to catch Gigo with it. Pathmaker to try to buffer through the CC. Kasante's tanky, but he's only got 50 health. And
Jojo here, he's in deep trouble.
Yeah, Jojo's about to have a bad time. He tries to flash away, so at least Labrov can't knock him the other direction. But meanwhile, the Bramble Smash from skewmond's going to do the same job anyway. Feat of Warfare claimed for the 2nd game in a row by G2. In both games, it was a 3-2 count on the kills. And now IU is stranded in a 1 versus 3. You're against an Alistar that's got an ultimate. This tower dive from G2 could be deadly, but IU's for now. Gigo stepping forward, going for the 3rd in Tofo strike. Not going to hit that one. Caps tries to Valk out, but now immediately with the Pathmaker, Gigo going in while Toots is in a 1v2 down to the bottom lane at the same time. Caps is going to be killed off first. Now Toots flash over the wall. BrokenBlade ready to follow, finds the stun, but he's Rune Prism.
Phase rush.
Toots makes it back over towards the turret. Phase rush ain't gonna work. BrokenBlade with the flash at the last second to guarantee that he hits him with the empowered bonk and takes him out. A 1 for 1 across the rift.
Big cross map there. Looks like G2 this time not going to go for the Battle of the Boots, just going to claim them straight up towards this bot side of the map. BrokenBlade still fine as the TP comes through. There's a lot of people here, though.
Yeah, remember, Labrov with the Alistar ultimate. This is a powerful turret dive, but not when you go in that early. Labrov just barely gets away. It's all calculated by G2 with a full 5-man stand. Jojo steps from the chains of corruption right back in to BrokenBlade's waiting arms. And G2 is not making the mistakes from game one again. Again, I have to give credit to Hans. We're always seeing these piercing arrows find IU as JoJo wanted to make the engage. Toots immediately realm warps into his own demise. He's got to be careful about this one as Tatu's not going to be taken very low. Toots trying to provide a little bit more damage to the BrokenBlade as Tatu is in full retreat. Toots wanted to deliver his jungler into the enemy lines, but as Tatu is caught out of position, he is forced to retreat.
Ooh, I think Furia should be happy that that didn't end up going worse. That was a very scattered engage because Hans was able to flash. JoJo didn't quite catch him off guard. Now the flash being, as long as they get to go for these counter engages, they're going to be happy. Yeah,
they might still find their counter kill here as JoJo's already down to half HP. That rail is not long for this world. BrokenBlade's already got him. Tatu's dead next. And now with Gigo teleporting into 5 players in G2 jerseys, Gigo is going straight into the ground. G2 just crushed Furia.
In the previous blade, Furia was able to slip away. This time around, not so much. G2 found the front line, not ready for this many people to be there, and able to both get the kills, get the Otacon as to Tatu, although if you just put him to like half health this early on,
that'll work. I mean, JoJo goes in, but where's the follow-up? True Shot Barrage doesn't hit. Hans gets found. Gigo's gonna die at the same time. JoJo engages Mary, but there's nobody else next to him. And Furia is just all out of sorts here in this second game. G2 perfectly confident to stay in the position they're in, to continue forcing Furia back out of the jungle. And now, with the enemy top laner down, with that Cassante front line no longer a threat, now G2 start up the Baron and dare Furia to stop them.
Oh, that's a creative angle that we see here from Tatu on the Wukong. It does get spotted though. I don't think he's going to be an opportunity to actually get a steal here. Going all the way around is, oh, JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo is out of there.
They know, yeah, you see the pings coming down. Like, they are aware that he's behind them. He was spotted earlier on.
IU gets out, Toots gets out, but getting out is all they're going to get because the rest of G2, they've just got control over the Baron pit. Tatu trying to be a man on a mission, but the only mission now is survive. Tatu will have to use his Cyclone to disengage. BrokenBlade keeps on the...
Like G2 is IU.
Oh boy. Yeah, that Maokai ulti's not going to give him anywhere to go. Trying to pop the cleanse to get out of it, but BrokenBlade is powerful on the Jax in this second game. And Hans Sama's chains barely miss on JoJo, but Labrov ready to follow it up here with the pulverize into the headbutt. That's 2 for G2, and now it might just be something back for Furia. Gigo wants caps, but he has to trade his life to find it. 3 for 1 across the rift, as now it's only Toots and Tatu to try to defend, but they're nowhere near the lane being pushed, Chronicler. The tier 3 turret in bottom is already fallen. The inhibitor is the next target. It's 2 Baroned up cannon minions. It's Elmorph to try to get away to safety, as now skewmond's ready to follow it yet again. Here comes the Nature's Grasp, immediately ready to lock up JoJo. The Rel once again beaten down before any effect can truly happen, as skewmond tries to get away. G2 backing out, waiting for their cooldowns, as Furia continues to look for something, but Labrov is creating space. Hans backing back up again as IU gets the shutdown into Labrov, but Gigo is not strong enough to truly threaten the back line. G2 have lost their support, but they take out the enemy top and support at the same time. Toots wants caps. He doesn't find him yet. Toots stuck inside the hourglass, and his time's run out. Tatu trading with skewmond as the AP Maokai finally falls there to the Wukong, but it does not matter. Toots was the only one left standing on Furia. Oh boy, I don't think he's going to keep standing for much longer either. BrokenBlade stopping him from getting away with a Hex Gate.
Really matter, right? They're able to take down JoJo very, very quickly. And then here it looks like maybe a turn is imminent.
But
also after the, the soul point.
Yeah.
The Baron up as well.
It's rough. It's rough.
A little bit.
About 10 seconds here on the Baron. BrokenBlade, however, getting caught out a little bit, but he's still not dead. Tatu wants to follow, but he goes straight.
It's not something that I think you can generally come back from. JoJo, I think, unfortunately, is still alive for a little bit.
I don't think that little bit's going to be a whole lot longer, however, as he uses Magnet Storm. Might as well. By the time you're back alive, you'll have it again anyway. Hextech Dragon doing a little bit of damage onto the roster of Furia as BrokenBlade goes for the flank yet again. IU trying to escape as the Realm Warp gets Toots back to safety, but BrokenBlade already has the stasis ready to go to buy enough extra time. Turn it around, guarantee the unstoppable kill there onto Gigo as the piercing arrow. I praised him throughout the whole game, and that's a great example why Hans Sama is not missing on this Varus.
And the B1 picks, back-to-back, end up being huge. It was the Taliyah in game 1 for Furia. It's the Varus in game 2 for G2, but obviously BrokenBlade having an infinitely better game this time around. The team, they gave him a little bit more help, and he paid them back.
Yeah, BrokenBlade here on the front line now. Finally drops. The shutdown goes over to JoJo. It ain't gonna matter. Furia dropping like flies at the steps of their own fountain. G2 come back with a vengeance, and 34 minutes in, they're gonna take their win and tie up this series in game 2. Shot as skewmond makes his way into the top lane. Gigo tries to flash out of the Pillar of Filth, but BrokenBlade's immediately ready to follow. He goes for the brittle, he finds the proc, and Gigo's getting rocked. Skewmond takes a bite out of him. It's looking for this first Drake nice and early. Caps caught out though, Toots going in. Toots finds the solo kill on Caps as BrokenBlade makes his way over. River, Skewmond still hanging around though. Labrov walking close to the dry brush, does get found out. Tidal wave over the top, Labrov taking a ton of damage, and Tatu! They know that Furia is going after this, and Furia has already used a lot of tools. They wanted to use them to make those kills, but now it's Skewmond getting caught out. He has to flash to try to get away, but the curtain call is opened up. The bullets are firing off, and once again, it's G2 grabbing the feet of Warfare. Furia has overplayed their hand, and G2 is happy to punish. A little bit of a juggling going on here in mid lane, as Tuts is caught out. For Toots.
Reinforcements on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get teleports from both sides. Grand Starfall, defensive positioning out of that one. BrokenBlade knocked up into the air, but that's not the target you can go after. The Ornn is so tanky, flashes out, going to buffer through the tidal wave there. A lot of damage on this Skewmond, but he ain't dead yet. The Ornn goes through onto 4. Tatu's gonna die, and Caps cooks him up. G2's gonna lose their mid laner right on back. Such critical health bars on both sides. Only Toots and Hans Sama still with a lot of resources to work with, but Fury is hanging around, trying to do more damage to the tier 1 turret. Gigo in the tri-brush, has to be careful here.
Flame spittering them down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough as, oh, Toots.
Toots is in real trouble here. Caps ready to follow it up. Toots does a flash to try to get out, but it is a little bit late. Gigo finds Caps as Skewmond was so preoccupied trying to find the kill. There was enough space.
The zone control is tough to deal with, but if he gets caught...
Yeah, Toots in some trouble here, but immediately backed up by Gigo yet again. Labrov coming around on the flank, but he's not close enough. Skewmond and BrokenBlade both in a lot of trouble now. Nice tidal wave! BrokenBlade still alive for now, but finally falls. Hans Sama and Labrov trying to get a little bit back here. Onto JoJo, onto IU, but instead, it's just another kill. Back to Hans and Labrov separated off. It was a 1, a 2, and a 2 as BrokenBlade fires a nice ulti to hit IU. He tries to use the cleanse to get away. He's already used the flash, and IU is down. JoJo wants to get away, but he's stunned up at the very edge of the curtain call, and G2 just found exactly what they were looking for. Caps picks up the second one.
Oh, the hook?
Hook onto Toots, but a nice counterattack there with a shockwave to lock them all up. But G2's got a counter to the counter, and they are gonna slam through Furia. Only the jungler left alive as G2 get 2 for free and then immediately follow it up with another double. They'll get the tier 2 in the mid lane. They've immediately got the wave ready to get the tier 2 in the top lane, and this game just got completely smashed in the favor of the LEC number 2 seed.
Hans Sama offering
honest 5v5s that you were talking about. Here's what's so hard for Furious Comp to play out. A nice route there coming out from the Deadly Flourish. Equalizer's not going to get a lot done. It's only Labrov taken low. Tatu's going to grab the kill on him immediately here at the very start as BrokenBlade and Skewmond having to retreat now. Curtain call is fired. Its final shot. G2 have not won the fight. And now with the Grand Starfall coming in, Tatu ain't done. BrokenBlade tries to get out, but a little bit more damage is going to seal the deal. Tatu takes out BrokenBlade, and staring down the barrel of a difficult situation, Furia calls the bluff and takes another 2 for nothing from G2.
Feels a little disjointed there from G2, and Furia smell the weakness, dive in immediately. Another reminder that it doesn't matter who you are, even BrokenBlade, as tanky as he is, as many jokes as we make about the Koenig.
Wrap around play here, find a move on to Toots. IU in a lot of trouble. That'll be a free catch for G2. And with the Lucian out of the picture, Baron's alive, Chronicler, and I think that might be where G2 set their sights.
Baron is alive for now.
For only a moment.
Yeah, only see an Horn. Now,
Furia's gonna give it.
There's no blue trinket available. They're gonna just send it,
Wait,
but it's
no,
too
never
early.
mind. They are not gonna give it. Tatu jumps in with the Grand Star fall, but that star fell too early. And that is getting away. And now G2 setting up the siege down here on the tier 2 turret. They're gonna go ahead and use the teleport there from BrokenBlade to guarantee that Furia don't have a chance to make it engage. Tier 2 barely hanging on. This is the last structure standing for Furia outside of the lines of their base. And G2 only need one more wave to force it down.
G2 is trying to play as calm and collected as possible. Ornn items coming through across the board. Only a few more left until everyone is kitted out. Feeling good. It's Rebel Baron power play. Gonna try and play for an inhib.
Okay, BrokenBlade frontlining here again, just not afraid of that damage. Calling a bunch of it hits him, but not to great effect, as they've still got that powered up cannon minion slowly chipping away at this turret. If we're looking at Ornn items, they're empowered now for the Annie and the Trundle alongside the ones that we already mentioned for the Ornn and the Jhin. As here it goes, G2 going in for what could be the game-ending play. They do catch JoJo, and Caps guarantees he's already down, but Caps is traded back. IU gets the shutdown there, but G2 continues their push. It's bodies dropping on both sides as Gigo barely stays alive, but now Labrov, Hans, and BrokenBlade gotta be careful. BrokenBlade dropped low, but he ain't dead yet. Tatu keeps the chase going as G2 has to back up. Caps dying early meant that Furia was able to stabilize and keep this game alive.
TP.
Now a TP ready to rejoin as BrokenBlade continues running away. Tatu and Toots ready to join up with Gigo and try to guarantee a little bit more. Labrov gets tagged there by the Electro Harpoon. He's out of there, and Grand Star falls ready to lock up BB. A little bit more damage, a little bit more CC here with a stun.
Really matters. Still gets his spells off. And then here we see a little bit of a too deep chase onto Gigo, who doesn't actually end up going down. Becoming huge.
Yeah, the fact that Gigo lived with 200 HP makes the difference on the follow-up play, as skewmond has been found out in the bottom lane. He was all alone.
G2, fortunately, despite those picks, didn't end up losing more than a soul point.
Toots with the flash over the wall to guarantee that he doesn't get caught out there by Caps, but now Labrov could be in a little bit of danger. The Nautilus is not particularly tanky. Tatu just steps up, puts the spear in his back. Go for the enemy chicken camp when it's up. Caps is going around for a potential. The calling nearly kills him. Caps is dead.
Walk over as Furia try to get the Baron, try to get back in this game.
Curtain Call has opened up though. Tatu's got to be careful about that one. This Baron already doing significant damage to Furia, but they want to keep the aggro on. Curtain Call is gone. Furia with the pick on Caps. Yeah, that's right. Coming around from the side. Keep your eyes on the Annie. He's got the flash ult. They try to go in for the ultimate there from the Nautilus as Caps goes in for the engage, but he only engages onto JoJo. Tatu's here on the front line. He's about to be taken out. Caps barely keeping himself alive as Gigo's about to die here too. Toots stays alive as IU gets the kill on the Caps, but now the carries on Furia gotta try to escape. G2 have found a massive fight. They found the AD carry, and it's a double kill for skewmond as he takes a big old bite out of Brazil's hopes in game number 3. It's G2 versus Toots for the next 25 seconds, and G2 are barreling down mid lane. The inhibitor about to fall. The minion wave already ready, and BrokenBlade so tanky, he'll take a shower in Nexus turret shots before he backs off. Labrov goes in for the dredge line. They'll lock up Toots. They'll lock up this game. It's G2 after a 37-minute battle, taking game number 3.
And the fact they got IU there at the end, I'm pretty sure he got just as you would do as We do have Labrov on his way.
Ooh, miss. Nice connect there on the hook. Ayu gets grabbed, and the follow-up from G2 forces out a flash. Ayu staying alive for now, but it's a potential 4-man play from the side of G2. Caps with the flash in for the blooming blow to find the first kill, as Toots now in the middle of 4 has to use the ulti back over the wall. It's a scrap in bottom. Afraid of. This is the kind of one that you really don't want to see. Beautiful pull from Labrov into the wombo combo with Hansama's ulti. JoJo's in a little bit of danger. He finally dies, but Toots is hopping in there to make it a 1-for-1 here so far. Now wants another. Hansama in danger. Toots grabbing a double kill. Caps about to die to T2 off to the side at the same time. Whoa.
I mean, you still take that. That's Dominus gone.
Yeah. Dominus out of the picture. BB still very low. Top 2 down to about half HP. This is your Fed Nocturne. It's a massive shutdown if they get it. skewmond and Caps coming in. Top 2 is very low. There's your Pop Blossom from Caps. And the shutdown over to skewmond. What is the trade? Toots forcing Hans back into the fight. But BrokenBlade is ready to jump into the back lines. But G2 has already lost 3. It's a 3-for-2 trade. And Furia comes out on top. Here for a pull, but I would advise against it. T2 jumping in, immediately decides he wants to go after Caps. Pop Blossom's gonna stop it, but only for a moment. Caps is down. JoJo gets revenge. Now a decimate from Gigo here on the... Gigo and T2 want to step up, want to try to stop it. Caps and Hans both here though. Furia coming in to try to stop this effort from G2, but the Herald has already been claimed by skewmond. Now you gotta look out. Beautiful pull coming out from Labrov to try to shut down Toots. A nice shutdown lands. Big 3-man Seraphine ulti, but where's the follow-up? Nobody on G2 is dead. JoJo's forced to flash back over the wall, and G2, they get the Herald, they get a kill, they almost get T2, but now BrokenBlade is still leading the charge. Furia continues to fight. The Decimate doesn't find the Renekton, and Labrov gets saved by Hans. Gigo's still frontlining as the rest of Furia runs away. Pop Blossom finds 2. A lot of damage on Ayu, but he ain't dead yet. 1 dead on G2, 2 dead on G2, 3 dead on G2. Hansama versus the world, and the world means Brazil. Hans trying to kite it out, but Gigo won't allow it.
So much. These small choke points are huge, as Gigo hasn't died yet, but maybe using his passive this time around.
That is a 1,000 gold shutdown. They have to give this to the right player. skewmond will be the one to take it. Big shutdown for G2. That was a very fed Scion. That is a top lane that has Otacon that spawned only 1 minute ago. That is a G2 that still has the Herald in their inventory. And this is a big punch coming back from the LEC. After Furia had been dominating so far, it's Otacon for G2. They're going to slam the turret into the tier 2 turret at the top side at the same time. They should be able to get the gold from this. Ash Arrow collides, but it won't be enough. The turret's still barely hanging on, but the extra damage from the one Void Grub is enough to force it down. At the same time, mid lane tier 2s have been taken by Furia in the mid and bot lane. T2 trying to stop the backs, but he walks too close. Labrov with another beautiful pull, but the ulti over the top slows it down. Shut down over to skewmond. BrokenBlade in trouble. He's gonna die now as skewmond tries to jump back over the wall, but Gigo's ready to chase. Make that 2 dead in G2 jerseys. Labrov for a push onto this remaining tier 2 turret. This is the last structure outside of the G2 base, still standing. The paranoia used, but no ulti, no forced dive. Another great pull from Labrov. Forces out the flash from top.
Right, because you can throw in, if you have the timing right, there's very little counterplay available as Labrov.
Labrov stunned up, saved now though by Hansama. Gigo looking to cut off the further escape route. Nice pull in from Labrov, but a nice Seraphine ulti over the top guarantees the kill. And now that's 1 dead on the G2 side. Caps goes for the Pop Blossom, but a nice use of the stasis keeps Toots alive. Caps getting away. Checks from all of our players now, and as soon as everybody is confirmed, ready to go, we will lock back in to make a play. However, we're at the back end of a play that was just made.
The trigger was pulled.
Now. Yeah, we're already there as Furia will continue their march down mid lane. The first inhibitor turret is down. It is a 5v3. Furia is continuing to move forward. Remember, they already got the resources. Nexus turret's under fire. Furia going in. First Nexus turret about to die. Toots creating space. BrokenBlade's got his Sterix, but he's staying alive for now. There's no more wave. Toots and T2 both going to take the Hex Gate out as the rest of Furia walks back out the long way. The game goes on.
That's a call from Furia because I think that with the lead that they had... Oh?
Wait, hold on. Gigo's going back in on Caps. He tries to find the G2 mid laner, but a flash out from the Nico keeps him safe. That is a big summoner spell, though.
Easily. Now, they still have a good setup as... Oh my god, he goes in.
Oh, yeah, Toots is already jumping in. Oh, the Shuriken flip immediately into the R2. Toots zoning everybody else away. Meanwhile, Tatu jumping after skewmond. He knows if they kill the Nefiri there, the Baron is free, but they don't get the kill. They will force out the flash from skewmond's Nefiri, and now Furia, they turn right back onto the Baron. Now, Toots has no ulti here on the Akali. Keep that in mind. BrokenBlade taking a turret down there in the bottom lane at the same time. He's got a TP if he needs to join up. Here comes BB's TP right now as Fury is trying to put themselves in position. Labrov already missed the pull. Now you got Toots making space yet again. Going gold, buying time. Caps goes in. Massive pop blossom. Zero follow-up. Toots stays alive. Jojo with a Seraphine again. The team fight battery as Labrov will die to the fear tether and Furia is marching down mid.
It's happening, Flowers!
Furia with the push. They got to make sure they try to interrupt these backs, though. Tatu, he'll stop skewmond for now. Where's the wave? Hans is cutting it. G2 keeping themselves alive with this.
Just do Nash.
Nice
do
arrow.
Nash. It's fine.
Okay, we're not done with the game here just yet. Hans bought time.
They'll have Nico. Oh boy. No, they are not going for the Baron Flowers. They want to bring us to game 5 right here on this wave.
Maybe we are going to the end of the game right here. They've got the wave. They've got Gigo with so much HP. They'll pop the paranoia as BrokenBlade tries to cut the wave. Furia want to force the end of the game right now. Redemption comes down. BrokenBlade tries to find pressure under the back line, but he won't get it. The Lax Nessus turret still barely standing. Caps goes in for another pop blossom, but he will not get it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the first series of MSI 2025, we are going to zip from Jojo and Ayu. Toots versus Caps back in the mid lane at the same time. Toots wants to clear the wave, but he may have overstayed. He'll step back now, wants to get that last auto attack. Caps, though, with a Q3 primed, dashes in for the knockoff, and Caps gets the soul with the Zenith Blade, but there's no way to follow up there for Toots. Meanwhile, skewmond getting it done up in the top side. Caps is burning down to the Ignite in mid lane, but he survived.
Oh, Ayu doesn't have flash.
Ayu could be in some serious trouble here. Labrov and Hans putting the damage into him. Nice use of the root there. Yes, Ayu trades back as good as he can, but he doesn't hit the valuable against Gragas specifically. I like this choice. Now immediately the fight over the Scuttle Crab. Tatu finds a two-man watch out Eve, but G2 brought more men. Caps goes right back in for a little bit more damage. Tatu flashing away. He's alive with a Mega Inferno Bomb firing back from Furia. Tatu still escaping. G2 still trying to fight. Skewmond wants to get away, but the bowling ball doesn't find the mark. Now, Toots has to continue his retreat as Jojo is trapped inside the Cataclysm, and Skewmond is locking him up. I want to see if he can pull it off here in this one and bring G2 the win, as Furia now looking to step up and try to contest here for the Drake, but G2's ready to respond. Jojo's going to get locked up here with the very start. He should die before anything else even happens. Nice Solar Flare comes down over the top as Labrov is finally going to be traded back. Anything else, Chronicler, it was a beautiful distraction because meanwhile, Skewmond and Caps are going after the Rift Herald. Jojo is there for some reason. He flashes over the wall to stay alive, trying to escape the dawning shadow. Top to look for a dive on BrokenBlade, but then BrokenBlade did a good job stopping it. This time around, Labrov going up top, looking to stop things himself.
What?
As BrokenBlade, how did he get here? He's immediately just destroyed by Gigo, as now G2 wants to try to show up, salvage this a little bit here. A little bit more damage would be able to kill the last remaining HP on that tier 1 turret. Gigo about to lose his Mega Gnar. He reverts to Mini as soon as the fight starts. Gigo's about to die here at the very beginning. Hansama's already got the kill. Caps with a massive fate sealed, and Furia is cut to ribbons. Double kill, Hansama.
And Furia just walks into the waiting arms of G2. I think bot lane turret is going to fall. Mid lane turret fell. The dragon came through as it starts off with a great player towards the bot side of the map as they're able to get BrokenBlade with a nice flank TP from Toots. But then the follow-up here. This is one of those situations.
The Seraph is fully involved, but also the Leandries now completed for IU. So if Furia wants a chance, they might have it, but not if Gigo does that. Walks right into an unwarded brush, and Gigo gets dunked right into the ground. Skewmond's happy to send him there, as immediately the Solar Flare and the Mega Inferno Bomb are completely wasted. G2 looking for more opportunities to maybe keep chasing.
You have, obviously, with the Yone, a lot of damage, can very quickly shoot for
Nearly
that.
Maxed out there for Hansama and skewmond as well. Honestly, if Furia can get the shutdowns, it would be nice, but the fact that they're as high as they are means it's probably not likely. G2 grabbing one, forcing the flash out of Toots as he barely manages to escape, and G2 are just gonna knock down this tier 2 turret up here in the top lane. We have finally hit 25 minutes on the clock. Baron Time does have his teleport to join. Everybody on Furia going for maybe their last chance gambit here at the Baron pit. Gigo gets locked up again, though. Immediate problem as the mini Gnar is down. Cap's unstoppable. Skewmond chasing after IU, who immediately flashes out of the Cataclysm. BrokenBlade, nicely placed ulti Nux Toots right back into the waiting arms of G2, and IU is not going to escape with the kill onto the Ziggs. Now we're so far past that. G2's just kind of playing the game however they want to play it.
You can see it as well, right? You can feel the difference. The way Caps is playing on this Yone, just going in, getting cooldowns, popping back out again.
Yeah.
He's not afraid at all, starting with a solo kill.
Right back in there. It's Toots having a flash out of the Cataclysm, and Tatu's already down on Sama, grabbing the kill as Caps continues diving forward, godlike with the kill on his lane opponent yet again. Gigo trying to escape. The Mega Gnar's on the run, but Skewmond's on the hunt. BrokenBlade throws out an ulti, but it will not knock anybody back. It will not matter either. G2 on the game-ending push now. They've made their way to the Nexus turrets. Furia, only 3 men standing, can do nothing to resist the onslaught as G2 are gonna pad their stats one last time in Game 5 as they make their way onto the Nexus. It was a brutal battle start to finish, but G2 win Game 5 and the first series.
Extra movement speed coming in from the Aegis is all Knight locked up, locked down. Timbers on the way in, but not doing a hell of a lot. Knight taken out by the weird performance from him in this game today, especially when he's the one who got those early kills. Wow. And especially as BrokenBlade might be in trouble. Flash forced out, Bin on the way in. He's blown the horn, Bin's respecting it. But BrokenBlade is in dire straits. Ooh, tower aggro continues though. He might be able to get one back. It's the 1-for-1. Elk, they see an angle, but Elk's movement clean thus far. Lockup from Labrov is there. Pantheon now coming in as well. Elk is already cleansed, but he's still been stunned. Pantheon is going to force the flash. Ornhorn called, and this is the combo. BrokenBlade sniping with the ult, but it's Knight looking for the follow-up. Waiting out the Aegis assault for Skewmond, but he knows he doesn't have an angle anymore. On, though, may be the one in trouble. Instant use of the Unbreakable Will, and a quick retreat from the side of BLG as G2 are keeping the pressure up.
Oh man, Elk, that was very cocky. He really wanted to use that move speed, but under tower, actually, BrokenBlade starts to take a couple tower shots, does flash.
Equalizer, decent amount of ticks here. BrokenBlade might be in trouble. Where is he going? Herald on the way in, so he didn't want to walk into River. BrokenBlade slowly being burnt down. Beishwan going in mid lane into 3 members of G2! And he is unconcerned! The Herald will not finish the tower!
We watched the Ornn get chased down while we got a little drive-by side story.
Escape. Hansama slowed. Engage on Hansama. Now moving back. Elk slowed briefly. TP coming in from BrokenBlade. Likely the horn to be called. Everybody's invited to the party in the mid lane now. Elk locked up. Where's the follow-up coming from G2? They don't quite have the cooldowns. And now G2 trying to finish off this mid lane tower. Knight just now resetting. And it seems like BLG will have to concede it. Reset that they won't have that crucial cooldown. So they're demanding that G2 come to them. They're demanding for the fight, but they don't have the angle. Oh no! From the bush, he finds the knock. He only locks a few. G2 now trying to retreat. Labrov on the way out, standing next to the wall, looking to find the lockdown. Hansama trying to lay down a little bit more focused fire, but BLG get the objective. They get the kill, and they walk away.
The commit from BLG is so...
As long as they're grouped as 5, they're just walking into a 5v5 at the end of the day at most, as Labrov once again caught out. Good lockup on the Knight. CC there, trying to take the AD out before he can open. Knight still manages to get it down. Skewmond in the fight as well. Caps, beautiful ulti across the team. Lockup on Elk, but he's still able to full chain on the ulti! That shouldn't be allowed, but Caps can't get close enough to finish the job, and now it's BrokenBlade falling as well. 3 down on the side of G2, and BLG, they're ready for a Baron.
Yep, that's going to be Baron for sure. Caps pops the blast cone. don't know what shenanigans he could pull out here.
This one's fast. W flash, win becomes lightning. They were already pretty much guaranteed to get the objective. They're happy to have caps as well. This could be the end of game one for G2. Playing under so much pressure here. Zon gets the fight started. Perhaps over eagerly though. He's too low on health already before the fight breaks out. Unbreakable well, keeping him standing, but he's been sniped. Locked up, taken down by the bot lane duo, and it's Beishwan who's running. Pantheon going in. Has he overcommitted? Beishwan locked up. skewmond taking a bit more time. Waits on the Aegis Assault. The minions in the base, though, demand a bit more attention. Knight can't just TP. BLG, again, the flash is there for Knight. G2 have to be so careful. Everyone's fingers is on their flash key, ready to go out or in a moment's notice. Caps hasn't been spotted. Beishwan posturing down.
What is the over-under on Elk channeling another ultimate this team fight?
Based on what we've seen so far, all signs indicate probably he will. But G2 will look to stop it. Initial engage comes in from On. Caps not able to find the flank.
Alistar ult is critical for team fights. G2 getting that ult out is massive.
Ulti now. They're going to try to force the fight. Lock up onto Beishwan. Ulti connects onto the 80 carry, and instantly they're into the back line. Caps manages to lay down the ult, but Elk is still standing. He shouldn't be alive, but he holds on just a little bit longer. There's no space for him to ulti, though, and that is all that matters. G2 on the edge of death managed to find the fight. More good fight probably wins them the game, but G2 have held on. They're getting things closer. They're getting things back to even. It's only a 2K gold difference. 20 seconds.
Yeah. Inside the base. All right, On. What can he do now?
Low health bars.
No ulti for him. He can't even get to that wave.
There's a wave unanswered in bot lane. If G2 lose this fight, it's an instant TP, and the game is over in favor of BLG. On, locked up. Alistar trying to clear. One tower down, but G2's eyes are set on the prize. The nexus of BLG, and it might just be a single fight. It might be a single moment. skewmond, BrokenBlade, they're trying to finish the GA. He doesn't have it. There's no way. The flash. It's not enough. Caps is already back.
Teleport the end. They're teleporting up there.
He has to end.
In on RG. Caps RG too.
Sorry, boys. This is personal. The rest of you set up for an objective. Caps goes for the ulti. Bin goes golden, buys a bit more time. Bear taking that health so damn low. Tower still standing, but Bin's already gotten one. Labrov back up, 10 seconds on Hans, 15 on BrokenBlade. Bin wants to finish the objective. He's not waiting any longer. Lockdown there. Minions not going to do enough. Knight and Bin back to back to finish the game. BLG, get it done. skewmond and Labrov, because that one's fake. Knight, the Q flash, perfect from skewmond. He spent his time in practice tool. Knight taken down. Beishwan a quick knockback into the wall, but it's just too late. Is he going to give his life as well? Nice ball breaker, good follow-up damage. One more on it, and it's Labrov to grab.
Moving up to try and get that mid lane vision.
Ulti there, locked down onto Elk, and this is the problem with the vault.
Because those cooldowns are going to be quite meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, and Caps doesn't have Malignance completed. As we see, the lockup is there. Looks like easy pickings onto skewmond. On in position, a lot of healing though. And skewmond's able to make it away. Sunder Sky is the difference as the charm connects, and Labrov is ready. A three-man. Hansama is here. It's only one item on the Sivir, but he might have enough to get it done. Fortunately, it doesn't. It's G2 over eager. Labrov has to try and sidestep, but Beishwan's just ready to throw rock on his head. And in the meantime, it's been
backup and available with addition of Caps, and they're going to go for the dive.
Waiting for the angle. Labrov pre-uses the ulti. No. Moving bottom lane. This time the charm connects. Knight doesn't have to quite have time to use anything else, and will immediately ult out as On flashes. Okay. Beishwan's running now too. BrokenBlade, they're gonna stun him. What the heck is this sequence of play? Beishwan is gonna die. Okay, then they find a kill back. I'm sorry. What?
Are you not entertained?
Thank you. Maybe BrokenBlade with, 10 minutes, but lockdown there. Beishwan locked up.
Good pick.
Good damage. Caps wants to keep it going now on to Knight. Sidestep on the Unraveled Earth. The seismic shove won't catch him, but Bin now on the way down. Good news is they have the clone to give them that little bit of extra free vision. Bin fishing for a bit more, but BLG have just bullied them out. It's still 2 minutes to the objective, however, so G2 don't mind. Knight trying once again on the bottom side. Labrov rocket belt away. We'll be able to.
Definitely is going to be painful because the sustain wait.
Secret Labrov, flashback from Elk. The ulti does connect on him in the meantime. Bin now ready to follow. Decimating smash a little bit out of range, but the seismic shove makes everything okay. BLG, Beishwan now here. Knight continuing to chase the follow-up damage as the arrows find their target. G2 once again forced back. 17 seconds till the soul. And for G2, right, it's not a best of 3. It's not like last year. You're not done here. You have more time to rally. Fearless new champions have to be brought to bear.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even though the core, the Ahri and the Vi have gotten a bit of work done as the ulti comes out. skewmond getting the fight started, the TP there, but there's no one to follow up. Decimating smash, BrokenBlade able to fashion time. Looking for a 2-man knockup. Flick back on Labrov, trying to turn. He managed to get the back line. Instantly, skewmond goes in and it's hot on the side. The Simmer is contested. They managed to take him down as 1-for-1. Elk throws the arrow back. BrokenBlade going back in for another stun, but the team is not there beside him. G2 being zoned away from their own base. Hansama with the spell shield, managing to block a bit of damage. It's on who's going to be taken down, but no, the Mantra W buys him an extra second. Flash out from Hansama. G2 on the retreat, but it's a 3v3. They managed to find a good fight, but it just gets them to even. skewmond flicked back, waiting to channel out. We'll be okay for now. Still a steady retreat. Knight likely to find the kill here as skewmond goes back in. The extra shielding not enough, and Kobe, your prediction seems to be correct. Bin will not die, but he will continue to advance, trying not to give G2 any angles to cover or protect their mid-wave.
Taking tower shots for fun down here. Undeniable, unstoppable. Does get charmed up.
A little bit more true damage. TP now coming in. Varus returning to the fray, but Bin recalling. Has a TP of his own. They want to go for the throat. They want to end it here. Ulti goes wide. Charm still connecting. Eyes on Knight. The flick back could be big. Isn't going to hit. Caps 2 charges left. Bin standing in the midst of the towers, threatening to end the base. Counter-strike ready to go. BrokenBlade going to leap back. Caps going to go in. Health bars are getting lower, but G2 need to pull the trigger because it's Hansama who's been caught out. Elk manages to grab the kill. 2 low health towers. BLG on the cusp of match point. But G2 holding on as best they can. Weaver's Wall there. Zoning. Labrov away. skewmond going in onto the backline trying to find Elk. The knockup is there from Bin though. Beishwan and Bin, the beefy frontliners to find the mid laner, and Elk is still alive. BLG pushing G2 back, holding the line in G2's base, and bringing it to match point.
Again, wait a second, bot side.
Yes. Flashes out, finishes the job, makes good on the mistakes from game 2.
Ooh, that was close. Caps gets him in the end, though. He's finishing up the minion wave as the teleport is coming through. Teleport finishes.
It's on the way in.
What's up, buddy?
Unsealed spellbook.
Ring around the rosy.
Ring around the rosy. We might see Gleaming Quill kill a man, which I never thought would be a thing, but skewmond is there, ready to body block, and Caps makes it out.
Up by Otacon now. Look at Beishwan is going through mid lane. He showed himself on the tower. He's behind.
Has he been caught out? Nice steadfast presence to block the immediate follow-up. Elk still here, on the way, and keep your eyes on that Rakan as Beishwan gets lower and lower. Just a little bit of healing coming into the Gleaming Quill will keep him alive.
That flank was so deep, it went and showed by the secondary tower. Now he's chunked out for Dragon. Dragon is available. Beishwan has to recall. He gets scouted out. They can try and poke stop his recall.
Dead man's means a quick retreat. Every ulti except for Olaf's on the side of G2 unavailable. But with Beishwan out, there should be a Drake for G2, and this gives them a new lease on life. This buys them so much more time to get their items.
Yeah.
BLG still posturing. They love looking for these exit kills around objectives. But as long as G2 don't fumble, there's not a lot to look for here.
Is kind of hovering there with Twisted Fate Ultimate ready, so this jungle fight.
They weren't ready. They didn't know the ward was there. The instant follow-up coming over the wall from Elk. skewmond trying to retreat as best he can. Beishwan on a killing spree, and down goes Hansama.
Great angle from on there.
Labrov doesn't make it over the wall.
Yeah, he was toast no matter. He was toast no matter what. On sees this Senna, and you're like, you have no flash, buddy. You are in the wrong jungle. Takes him down. They're going for Bin though. Try and get a counter kill for G2.
skewmond blast code going back. Bin exhausted. The pillar trying to prevent the escape, but Knight is here. The cage goes down. BrokenBlade using the ulti, wants to go face first into Knight, but Knight does a hell of a lot of damage. The Olaf. He's not powerful enough to survive. Pushing mid, pushing bot. Lockdown there. Cage laid out. Bin going for the stun. Ulti's onto BrokenBlade. BrokenBlade ultiing back. A little bit more shielding as Knight flashes away from the Olaf. Just refuses to give them even an inch. Skewmond will fall as well. BLG, the push back into the wall. Caps ready with the cleanse. Quick on the trigger. Gold card ready to go. Lock up there, but there's no one else from G2 available. 3 out of 5 dead. BLG pushing. Could just look for the end here.
Oh, they're doing that all right. I mean, Bin is already knocking down mid. They're going to tower dive past this inhibitor tower,
Stun.
into the Nexus towers.
On to base one. Oh, the damage from Vigor hitting hard. Base one.
We're going to end this game before I get my death cap, so
I want more stacks.
do that mid-eyes upgrade, baby.
See if Labrov will oblige him. Does manage to make it out. He's so fast. Elk's going in anyway. Good pillar to interrupt from skewmond. Elk taking a lot of damage back. Gold card still hitting, but has the Seekers forced.
About the enemy scaling, but we are. Okay, teleports come here. Bin in the bottom river. He's going to go for it.
On the side. Bin looking for the flank. Baby Cage laid down a little bit earlier on, finding a nice engage. G2 trying to hold the line. Caps moving into the back line to try and take out Knight, but it might be too late. BrokenBlade living for a little bit longer than expected, but Elk is just too damn strong. Hansama down. BrokenBlade down. Knight, godlike, and G2 about to be sent to the lower bracket.
They certainly are. They're going to chase down Caps first as well. Base one's on the way to set up Knight for another one.
Godlike wasn't enough. For a player like Knight, he had to go legendary. Bin continues the push. Skewmond does what he can. It's a last desperate hold to clear the way, but it will not be enough. Bin unafraid of towers, certainly unafraid of Trundle. Willing to give up a GA just to go for another kill as BLG, from start to finish, the better team on the day. They have been dominant every stage of play-ins. And as the inhibitor respawns, G2 are praying that that is the miracle.
It's a cruel joke. It goes on longer.
Hansama not enough. BLG move on to the main stage.
Just yet, but everybody is about to crest that point. BrokenBlade slicing forward, but does not get the second cast there on the dice. Kia would love to get this last little proc there on the Hyper, does nail that one. And I do think, yeah, the story of the top laners is going to be massive in this one. Kia, such a huge part of GAM's success, as now he's got to try to get away, but a flash in from BrokenBlade. Kia in the pace for the series, and now Kia is going to be the target yet again. G2 did their homework. They know who they got to go after, and Kia is trying to get away as Skewmond continues chasing forward. Hansama doesn't even need to provide the extra damage. Skewmond and he lifts away with 20 HP. Now Labrov's gonna pay the price, so GAM get one back. But G2 are making plays, and they're making more of them faster until Emo has something to say about it, riding into the Weaver's wall. Levi's ready to knock him right back up into the air. First piercing arrow from Hansama, doesn't find Elio or Artemis. Now the Weaver's wall has arrived. Emo's ready to fight. They're gonna go after him, but it's Labrov the first target. Crash down into the Magnet Storm, finds Skewmond, but he's already powered up by the Subjugate. Curtain Call opens up, and Levi's ready to jump in. Skewmond is already down, and Levi's taking a kill. Hansama walks out of the way of the seismic shove. G2 continuing to try to get away from this one. Emo doesn't have enough damage to make anything else happen as the Deadly Flourish flies out. Now Chain CC to Hansama. He's stuck around for too long, and GAM with the punish. Get 2 kills for the Drake. Yeah, now it goes. The Herald's already down to 2/3 HP. GAM thinking about it here, as already Emo's ready to make the teleport come in and join the fight first, but a huge engage coming out from G2. They've already killed Elio before he can do anything. Levi's into the back line, looking to find some damage here to Hansama. A nice seismic shove back into Skewmond. A little bit more damage is needed, and they're finally going to take him down, but he also has to be traded back again for another one. BrokenBlade and Labrov trying to get away as Kia goes mega form. The Deadly Flourish doesn't hit, but the Weaver's wall is ready to ride. Emo makes his way into the fight once again, and Artemis is ready to follow up. A little bit more damage on Caps isn't going to be there, as BrokenBlade has to slice and dice.
Beyond, Kia here, since he is chunked out, not going to be a GAM answer. GAM have called, we're going to give you that Herald, we will go for the trade, but can they survive under tower?
Yeah, Elio's coming up here to try to help Kiaya. Kiaya hit the wave to guarantee that he would turn into Mega Nars, who would have the extra HP. Mikyx goes in, BrokenBlade gets it done. Elio now surviving, trying to in a 1 versus 5 with his top laner already down. He's got no way home. G2 will end up losing Caps as part of the process, so a 2-for-1 trade for them. They'll take the tier 1 turret at the same time. They'll guarantee the charge into the tier 2, and nobody in GAM colors is even around this thing, Kobe. They're gonna get the tier 2 in the top lane for G2 as well.
Them to go chase that extra kill.
And we got more action right back to live as Emo's in some trouble and BrokenBlade has locked him up and beat him down. No way out for them.
There, Kiaya doing so much work on this tower with the Trinity Force, and they're gonna trade the Dragon. Secondary tower picked up here. Kiaya barely gets it.
He gets it, and now he's got to try to join up with the rest of the team. Levi's going to be in some danger here as Labrov and Caps go in, find some initial damage onto the GAM jungler, but Kiaya goes in for the Mega Node onto both carries. He's doing a ton of damage to the Caps and Hans both, but he doesn't have enough to get the kills. Caps is still alive. Levi is already down, and G2 holds on. Elio trying to retreat as G2 have a 4v3. BrokenBlade tries to slice his way into the fight as Emo, Artemis, and Elio half there from Hans Sama to put about 20% of the health bar into Artemis. Another one connects there onto Elio. As Levi wanted to go for a win, becomes lightning. Emo fires off the Weaver's wall as Levi dives into the background. Hans Sama in some danger, but he ain't gonna be killed off just yet. Levi's about to die to skewmond as G2's counterpunch is way too strong. GAM thought they had him, but the only thing they have is an ambulance ride. GAM has already lost 4. A triple kill for skewmond, and Kiaya is stuck between a rock and a hard place and a pillar, and he's about to drop as well. The ace for Caps for G2, the victory march. Game 1's done.
G2 ripped them apart there with the counter. Skewmond is way too beefy there. When Levi goes in, he just gets chomped down.
It's exactly what you said back in the lobby, man. Xinjiao might like to scrap, but Trundle is ready to answer the call. G2 up 1-0. Down there. Meanwhile, they've got a very similar overall rate in series, as now we got a problem for Emo, who flashes over the wall, but Hans Sama is ready to follow. Emo barely staying alive. Hans Sama in a little bit of danger now too as he continues going forward. Hans gets first blood, but then he's the second. G2 continue going forward as Elio's got to be protected, but the protection is not there just yet. Elio getting away. skewmond has to flash to get it. It's a 2-for-2 so far as Labrov is down to 100 HP, but he will survive. And create enough distance. That was flash for flash jungler for mid laner there as BrokenBlade goes for the ulti onto Kiaya, and here comes the Realm Warp. Caps is looking to go aggro, and with skewmond coming with him, the slam into the wall is there. And
It's a little bit.
however, the numbers don't lie, my friend. You look up at that gold lead there at the top part of your screen. It is down below 500 now for the side of GAM. Emo eating a whole ton of damage here for the calling. Another beautiful wall slam coming out from skewmond as now Labrov and Hans Sama are ready to make it a 2-for-0 special. Here as the clock is about to hit 14, and I do believe Kiaya got it right there at the last second, but he may pay for that last little bit of greed for the turret plate. skewmond shows up, knocks him up into the air with a point-blank keeper's verdict. BrokenBlade trying to follow, looking for a little bit more CC. Knocks him back, beautifully done. skewmond and BrokenBlade, they'll lose that plate just fine if they can get the kill on Kiaya. Well done by G2, and they will even up the kills 7-7 at 14 minutes.
So active this game. Another side lane play here pulled off by G2 to pick another member, and there's no answer this time.
But down in bottom lane, we got Artemis in some danger. He might just lose the 2v2. This is the point of power for GAM. He's got to be so careful now, as it looks like Elio's just going to be the sacrifice. Labrov still dropping very low on HP, and right when it looks like it might have been a fair fight, here comes Caps.
It's into a dragon, so let's see. BrokenBlade want to finish up on the top side tower. He does have his teleport ready to come to this dragon fight, but GAM have the early priority into the river, setting up for dragon here.
Let's see how much value GAM can get out of their poke, out of their artillery on this one. BrokenBlade's going to teleport into the enemy jungle, though. He's going for the flank attack. Levi is already on the Drake, but if BrokenBlade catches him by surprise here, this is such a problem. Emo's going to be knocked into the team and immediately killed. Hans Sama on a killing spree with a beautiful slam into the wall with Keeper's Verdict to set up the second kill for Hans. Labrov and BrokenBlade completely controlling the fight. BrokenBlade is redeeming himself in this series. That teleport flank completely broke the back of GAM.
It is huge. He got right onto Emo. They delete the way.
Now the tier 1 turret gonna get dove. More problems for Game as Kiaya gets stunned up, and Caps is just machine gunning spells towards the remaining 2 players of Gam. Kiaya and Artemis staying alive for now. The accelerate
Coming back out together.
Okay, Labrov and BrokenBlade stepping up into the enemy jungle. BrokenBlade ready to keep this one moving forward. Another nice use of the ulti, but miscommunication with Labrov, who uses the Glacial Fissure and interrupts the knockback from BrokenBlade. Now a ton of damage on Hans Sama. He barely stays alive, but that's good enough for now. Levi's low, G2 retreating. Miscommunication. They've got Caps here. So they know that if Gam comes and tries to fight this, they will have to fight through the Rise, who does now also have Seeker's arm guard. Now, oh, nice flash follow onto the body slam there from BrokenBlade. This time the ulti collides exactly where it needs to, and Caps goes on a killing spree. G2, they'll take the Otacon. They'll be up 24 flower petals, 5 kills, and 4,000 gold.
Caps have a 3-level lead without even the Rod of Ages ticking over. And that thing's gonna tick over and he's gonna get another level. So, this is just so massive. They've been playing those sideways, playing the macro, and he's getting another one here.
Yeah, skewmond wants to go in after Emo, and Caps is ready to follow. Levi with a defensive stun, trying to provide an opportunity for his teammate to get away. Caps triggers the Seraph shield there, as skewmond and BrokenBlade have to back away a little bit further. Labrov gonna get grabbed by the dredge line as Gam continue their chase. Won't land the CC onto Labrov as he tries again to protect Caps, who flashes away from the depth charge. BrokenBlade here on the front line as the TP's coming in to once again reinforce Gam. The ulti from the Gragas, not enough. Emo with the shutdown on Brinding himself caught, slammed back into the wall. Labrov and skewmond need a little bit more damage, and Caps and Hans Sama have arrived. Instead, they'll turn their attention over to Elio, who cannot get away. Hans Sama, a tanky Gragas that's also spamming abilities at maximum speed. Labrov goes in for an engage on Emo. BrokenBlade knocks Elio back. Emo, not the right angle on him, but Elio will be a fine consolation prize. Kiaya shows up too little, too late to find much of anything, and the clock is at exactly the right time to make that play. 25 minutes into the game, G2 now has a 5v4 for the next 25 seconds. They will dare Gam to answer them at the Baron.
Yeah, beautiful play there from G2. They do it without Caps at all. They use the Gragas, Poppy, and Braum to find their pick. They force Gam into this tight spot.
All right, G2, let's see how they can defend against this. Levi wants to go in there with a Grand Starfall, but he's immediately ejected by the Keeper's Verdict. G2 burns down the objective, and BrokenBlade keeps everybody else busy. skewmond into the back, finding the slam into the wall on Emo. G2 aren't stopping, and it's Gam dropping. Artemis caught in the middle of a Realm Warp, and 4v1. Look at the bounties on the side of G2. skewmond and Caps, both with maxed bounties. BrokenBlade is about to solo down the formerly fed Corky.
Being an angle there for Gam. G2 really able to cover it, Caps especially, and now they're coming to finish the job.
All right, Gam got to try to defend this last remaining lane of inhibitors, but it ain't gonna happen too easy. BrokenBlade goes golden, trying to stay alive. The tier 3 turret buys a lot of time though. Gam with a nice defense, have already found 2. Caps into the Zonias, trying to stay alive. The shutdown back over to Levi. Caps wants to get away, but a massive shutdown for Kiaya. Gam come to life and defend their base on their last legs. Hans on the run, but Levi's on the hunt. Artemis right behind him.
Shut down Kiaya, puts the ward in the brush, but he gets the bad news.
Yeah, he might have gone a little bit too close here. Deadman's played Poppy, catches up, and last inhibitor in the Gam base. They go in for the engage. They're trying to find Levi, instead switching over to Emo. He's already dead, as now Elio's about to fall with them. BrokenBlade goes back in for a nice 2-man body slam. Rune Prison on Levi seals his fate as well, and it's only Artemis left standing, but the Nexus turrets are down. G2 still firing as Artemis has to flash to try to get away. Kiaya's back into the fight, but it's a 2v4. Cap staying alive, kiting Artemis out as BrokenBlade comes back over for the CC into the kill. The ace for G2, the game for G2, game point for G2.
Up on the top side as well, now mid.
Labrov getting charmed, but it's only the clone. Real one gets knocked up into the air, but Eris has taken a ton of damage here from Caps. Levi tries to go back in, but the Pop Blossom manages a catch. Levi in some danger, and Labrov knocks him down.
G2 trying to put a stop to that Gantom very quickly, because this is going to lead right into the grubs as well. Caps getting instant value on top of it.
Caps trying to dive between turrets for the kill onto Eris, wants to get the reset. We're out on that one, and now we've got Labrov and Hans up here looking to make the kill happen onto Kiaya. Bullet time, Pop Blossom, Snowball, the whole kitchen sink.
BrokenBlade trying to deal with the other side of the swap. Can Artemis and Elio put as much pressure? They're getting teleported on. That's why BrokenBlade is staying under here.
Yeah, BrokenBlade knows he has the public execution if he wants to try to make something happen here, but they burst him down before he can do anything about it. Caps should be able to get one back here onto Elio with the explosive charge there.
Key carry.
Kiaya with the 40 farm lead over BrokenBlade. An even stronger advantage than the plus 30 that Caps has in the mid lane there. Now Kiaya dodging away for the public execution, but BrokenBlade's got Caps. Kiaya's not getting bottom lane, but Otacon is already down to 40% HP. Levi and Elio walking up, scaring G2 back. Eris ready to join, already using one Spirit Rush, finds a charm into Hans Sama, putting the pressure onto the AD carry, but Labrov is coming around from the side, looking to find the Pop Blossom. Otacon stolen away by Gam. Hans Sama with the flash over the wall, staying alive. Kiaya looking to chase him down. It's Otacon plus a kill over the Gam, but what about Elio? He gets himself back away. BrokenBlade exhausted, having to retreat now too.
Hey, Caps though, he wants revenge. And Eris, his Ari ultimate isn't quite up, a couple of seconds left on it. He's getting chunked so far down.
Oh, I think skewmond might just explode him. Yeah, okay.
Not too big of an investment. They go for the teleport play. Can they make the pincer happen?
Yeah, they're going for the TP now as Caps has to rocket jump away to the very edge of the fight. BrokenBlade wants to go in and he gets into the very back of the fight, but Hans Sama's already down. BrokenBlade having to run away. Kiaya chasing further after the remaining targets. Labrov trying to get a little bit of extra distance, flashes away from the charm of Eris. Hans is down, and now we'll see what else Gam can get from it. Elio walking into BrokenBlade. Caps looking for the opportunity here on Artemis. The feathers are recalled, but they don't find the right target. Labrov is picked off. Gam continuing to push these waves forward. It's a 5v4 for the next 15 seconds, and Gam are going in. The dive coming out from Elio into the back line, looking for the kills here, as they've already killed Caps. He's down. Labrov will go with him. Hans tries to fire back, but there's not a lot you can do when Kiaya's already got a triple kill. Gam, smack him right in the mouth.
When all the pressure is on, Gam stands tall. They get another team fight. They're facing elimination. They get the kills, they teleport back, and they're looking for G2's Nexus.
They are looking for the end. They are looking for game 4. Skewmond's back alive. Hans is still standing, but they're the only two. Skewmond wanted to channel the ulti, but they won't let him do it. Now the first Nexus turret is already dead. Kiaya finding his way to Hans Sama here in the back. Levi goes on a killing spree. Skewmond goes straight into the graveyard. Labrov's alive, but who cares? That's support Nico, and that's Gam taking us to game 4. Early advantage for Caps in terms of his presence in the lane, his ability to farm. He's up 2 waves. Kiaya going in after BrokenBlade. Needs a little bit more damage. Finds a grass proc. BrokenBlade goes for the rupture. Kiaya's got the sidestep. He hits him with a little bit more damage, but a nice silence to interrupt the decimate. BrokenBlade's gonna eat the apples. It heals him up enough. Now Labrov with a rotation over. Kiaya. BrokenBlade is pretty tanky here on the Cho'Gath, though, at least in terms of health. Resistances might not look that impressive. Now gonna get taunted up. They wanted to see if that taunt might have been able to bring him closer to the trap. A little bit more damage will get it done. Ace in the hole, that's the goal. As there's BrokenBlade, though, getting the kill back on Kiaya to
Advantage from G2.
Look at the damage Artemis puts out. Hans Sama already down to half HP after Artemis tags him here with a headshot. Stolen Twisted Fate ulti coming in. Here's Eris. There goes Labrov. There goes Hans. There goes the turret. But here comes BrokenBlade. He's in the middle of 4. Cho'Gath, he might be hungry, but he ain't eating today.
Twisted Fate, deal with the Leona. Getting more and more answers here, but the dive.
Okay, Eris getting dove, tries to use the ulti to defend himself. Immediately, Elio comes crashing in. He wants to find a taunt, but he doesn't find anybody. Now Kiaya's shown up. G2, they still got a 5v2. The turret is about to fall. Kiaya in danger as Elio tries to get away. Kiaya's fully running. Gam caught off guard. They'll lose 2 plus a turret. Tool to not have available. Caps with a little bit of poke there onto Eris, but Artemis responding with some of his own there through Ace in the hole. Levi starting up the Drake. Kiaya here on the front line. Traps being placed down at the entryway to the Dragon Pit itself. Artemis needs to be so mindful of his positioning. He is the key for both teams in this. If G2 can pick off the Caitlyn, that's their green light. If Gam can protect him, they can steamroll a fight. The Crab is going to be the first part of the fight. Eris moves in, scaring G2 back. Crab going to be claimed by G2, but now the fight starts off. A lot of damage on Labrov as he tries to flash away, but a big multi-man sleep coming up from Levi. Kiai is in a little bit of danger, but G2 are already losing multiple members. BrokenBlade tries to get away. The Swirl Seed tags him, but it doesn't matter. The Mountain Drake, the Mountain Soul. Over to Gam. Baron still alive on the map, still a 3,500 gold lead for Gam. BrokenBlade knock up on Kiai, but that's not worth a whole lot. Mid lane tier 1, G2 gonna force that one down. Caps providing the damage. Kiai goes in for the initiation, doesn't find what he's looking for, but he does zone Caps away. Hansama looking for Artemis, who flashes back to try to get to safety. Artemis still bleeding to the darkened daggers. G2 wanted to make something happen there, but they don't quite find it. Now Labrov and skewmond taking a ton of damage as Kiai continues chasing after BrokenBlade. Eris zoning Caps out of the fight, so TF cannot join. BrokenBlade's knocked up into the air, and Artemis is locked and loaded. Gam, find another one. Steel could be the only chance G2 really has here. They're going to place the ward over the wall, but it's blocked by the control ward. Now Gam, they're going to pull off. They'll go after Labrov instead. They know if they kill him off and they have a 5v4, it'll be so much easier to take the Elder fight guaranteed. Decimate with the stun. Justice Punch gets it done. Artemis goes godlike, and Gam now have their man advantage for the next 30 seconds. G2 still scrambling to get into a position here, but there's still no flashes on Hans and Caps. They've managed to heal up, but that's not enough. BrokenBlade with a rupture over the wall, just trying to look around, see what's happening. Eris and Kiai approaching from the side. Kiai's got so much of a shield, nobody can even break it. Eris stealing away the killer instinct. Now it's 2 dead on G2. The Elder down to 30% HP, and Gam should be able to secure this here. Caps going in for the hero moment, but it ain't gonna happen. Instead, he just teleports to the other side of the rift. Gam with a 6,000 gold lead, with a Mountain Soul, with Otacon, with the Elder, with a man advantage for 25 seconds, marching towards the G2 base.
They're coming for that base. They're going to destroy this tower ever so quickly. G2 have to pray right now with the Elder Dragon and everything at their back. Scammer going for it.
There's still 10 seconds on BrokenBlade as Gam goes straight in. Hansama's already going to be under pressure. Eris continues the dive. G2 continue to retreat. They can pray if they want, but God's not listening. Gam force down the Nexus turrets. They make their way to the Nexus, and after starting at a 0-2 deficit, Gam will take us to Game 5, and Silver scrapes. Kiai won't be caught by that trap, but skewmond coming in mid lane here finds a nice stun onto Eris. There's the follow-up from Caps. Shockwave isn't going to do a whole lot. It's first blood over to skewmond. Oh, but now we got a problem up in the top side for Kiai. skewmond once again trying to make the difference. Kiai misses the Q2, goes in for the Q3 onto the Viego. Continues trying to make a little bit of extra distance with the third, and Tofo Strike's gonna find him this time. BrokenBlade gets a kill. The facilitator of both kills thus far. Gam, they'll use the smite to secure the Scuttle Crab, but they've got to respect Caps. The Annie with the flash and the Tibbers can spell disaster very easily. Kiai trying to get away from BrokenBlade. He's already got the Iceborne Gauntlet completed. Kiai still has components. He does not want to fight this. The turret already shot him another time. Kiai with the flash away. The Dawning Shadow doesn't find the mark. Kiai gets away, but at the same time, G2 claims their second Drake. This is just the difference between having an item and not. BrokenBlade just feeling so much more powerful than this Aatrox. Goes all out, provides himself an exit route here, as now the World Ender is popped. BrokenBlade trying to use the Pathmaker, but that means the Vi ulti has the opportunity to go back in. But skewmond's also here. BrokenBlade with another shield. Gam finds the first kill, but now Kiai's got to make sure he doesn't fall. skewmond with the defensive ulti back over the wall to escape. Gam get their first kill of the game, punishing BrokenBlade.
Exactly what you were talking about, Flowers. He wanted to use his item advantage for the 1v1, but it was not a 1v1. Levi had just been on that top side, and so he doesn't respect it, but now
Eris, immediate flash over the wall as Labrov with a nice abyssal dive forces the summoner spell out of the otherwise immobile mid laner of Gam. But this whole time, because Labrov and now we're in a contest for those boots. It's 2 kills for Gam or 1 kill for G2 to earn them, as Hansama is at least going to retake
towards mid tower.
Okay.
It's not quite going to get it right now, but using that thing. It already is fairly low.
Labrov gets rooted up there by the Seraphine, forced to flash out. Now they're ready to follow it, but that's a Seraphine ulti. They're throwing the whole kitchen sink at Tom Kench. He gets away with an abyssal dive. A little bit more damage is still required. Levi still going in. Finally, Artemis secures.
Of course, Hanstama here, stacking up the Senna. Slower now than previously, but also going to add the enchanting to his team. And they do that Rift-tailed play. Even if it was delayed by Labrov going down for the vision, they still pull it off. They still get their goal.
Can he get the Herald down to the turret? Nice drifting from skewmond there, crashing the Herald into the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane to guarantee they get that one as well. G2 with a slight gold lead. Gam's not going to let him just take this third Drake of the game, though. Gam ready to move up and try to fight. They've caught Caps. He's in some danger, but the blast cone gets him away. G2 mid laner at half HP. Dragon resetting and losing patience. G2 still with control over the bot side river. Keep your eyes on Caps. Gam trying to move up, apply a little bit of pressure. The Dragon down to half. Attacking Gam now, putting a little bit of damage into the health bars. BrokenBlade's got a lot of spears in his back. Chunk down to half himself. But remember, if he goes all out, he can still try to regenerate a lot of HP. G2 decides against it. They don't want to potentially throw the lead here. They give the Mountain Drake over. Seraphine ulti into the tri-brush, only finds BrokenBlade as he path makes out. Dust settles, nobody dead.
But Gam have an easy route towards mid. So even though the Rift Herald was used to take down their mid tower, not only do they get the objective by forcing them out, they also can turn it into some gold as well.
Gam about to tie this game up. It is 3 turrets to 3, 2 Drakes to 1. It doesn't even matter. Both these teams ready to go. Nice interrupt there on the Q3. BrokenBlade not going to allow Kiaya to get that big source of damage. Levi just jumps over the wall here with a ball breaker immediately, but it's only Labrov waiting on him. Now it might be trouble for Gam. Levi has to try to retreat back over the wall now as Artemis also does the same. Caps rotates down as Gam disengages. G2 easily secure this Otacon for themselves, and Kobe, although the gold is as close as it is, now if we look at the total amount of 15 seconds on the clock, means that there's no chance for G2 to try to trade something across the map there in the Baron Pit. Still not spawned yet. G2 are going to use the opportunity to take the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane. The play ultimate
for the kill.
Oriana shield on
here.
Levi. Okay, abyssal dive from Labrov. Kiaya to target. G2 have already got him. Feet of warfare for G2. Kiaya down. Gam on the retreat. A nice knockback onto Elio, but BrokenBlade has gone very far forward. He uses the Pathmaker to get himself back out. That is a massive pick from G2 Esports. Blessing of Noxus, which is the boots, across all tier 1 regions in Split 2. The longest one was 31 minutes, but we don't have time for that. Caps has been caught out. Levi goes in for him, but Labrov's got the save. Tom Kench against Vi. He's made for this. Beautiful counter from G2, and the game is blown wide open. Hanstama with a kill. Caps with another, and G2 are about to take the Baron. Give the pressure on. Center route finds Kiaya. Tier 3 turret, about 3/5 of the HP remaining on it. 20 seconds until the Mountain Drake spawns. Hanstama with so much range, easy to step up and take pot shots at this thing. As another wave steps up to the side of Gam, Levi wants to go in. The Seraphine ulti over the top. It only finds BrokenBlade and Labrov, and now Levi is going on a one-way trip. Gam trying to force the fight forward, but Kiaya has to flash back. Caps is ready for the counterattack. Elio is saved by Artemis, but the Dawning Shadow finds multiple health bars. Artemis is already down. Kiaya and Eris both about to follow. No raid boss Aatrox in this one. Eris is gone. Gam is aced, and G2, they had to work for it. They had to sweat for it. They had to bleed for it, but they won't be denied. They eliminate Gam and move on to the main stage.
Looking for the contest. Wave in mid is crashing. Chovy's on his way.
Minion, can he find a way into the pit? Labrov locked up for a moment. Maokai ulti over the wall. Eyes on the Dragon. Who's going to be able to get it? Caps. Beautiful start to the fight. Knock up coming through as well. Ruler's trying to back off, but they're getting lower and lower. Calling over the wall, but Ruler's in no man's land. And finally, Keen has come through, but the tower finishes the job.
If it isn't for Caps getting one of the big engages, is it actually kind of hard for them to also get on top of Gen G? The disengage is really good with that Braum. Though is already a little bit low. Is Keen. TP's in. Possibility for a soul point here for G2.
Set up off to the side. G2 second on the objective, but here comes the Maokai ultimate. Ruler sidestepping, crucially. Caps looking for the knockup, but already going in is Keen on the side, and he's going to get cut down. Knock to the backside, it's Labrov. Fall up onto Chovy. The Azir gone. Damage deleted. G2 find another fight by the Drake.
Of many of the plays thus far as mid lane, now being sieged here by Gen G.
Onsama stepping up, laying down the hail of arrows is BrokenBlade. Lays a bit of damage down, but tanks 2 tower shots. Definitely not ideal. Keen keeping the fight going. BrokenBlade can't afford to stick around. That AoE damage is going to hurt, but skewmond coming in! G2 have made the call, it seems, to give this one up. But
There's
no,
the TP.
The TP in from Jax. Caps recalling, buying an item. That's the ulti going in from the Maokai. They want to split it. They want to 50-50 it. skewmond against Canyon. Who can get it?
He got it!
It's Canyon in the clutch. Finding a way, but the fall from Caps is there. Down goes Keen. No, lives for an extra moment. The snapback will get it done. Q, knock up onto 2. Duro on the way out. Chovy with the pushback to hold the line, but skewmond goes in one more time. They get the objective. They get what they came for, but they paid much more than they wanted to.
And Otacon turns your teams into paperbacks as Ruler just goes in, flashes out. Nothing he can do.
There, waiting it out. Won't quite fade away in time. Caps a few more seconds. Hansama flash forward, wants to finish the job under Ruler. One more item will do it. The hail of arrows. 10-2. G2 with the gold lead in game 1. Labrov looking for the knockup. Duro next. It's an ace.
The poke is hitting though, look at the damage.
Hansama, almost 6K in the last fight. How much will we get here? If the arrows keep connecting, this is going to be big. Duro's going to have to use the Unbreakable in a second. Taking his time, ulti into the midst of the pit. skewmond to follow. Caps standing behind. Chovy goes golden by a brief second, but he just sells out Ruler. The pushback is massive for Chovy. The Azir is still alive. He's free hitting, but there's just too much damage. G2 shredding through Gen G. Quick flash out from Chovy. Sliding to safety. Objective down.
I think the threat of that Maokai comes in big. Caps looking for an angle as well, I'm sure.
G2 favored in the composition. Gen G playing into the choke. Makes the Maokai all, the Yone all powerful. Multiple ults used, traded back, but it's a quick snap out from Caps. He still has an ulti of his own. BrokenBlade in the midst of the team, backing away. 6K. The Elder starts to reset. You don't want to take a 50-50 against Canyon.
I just pull off. Gen G looking to teleport Keen back in. Starrick's still available. Duro is low. There's no smite on Labrov right now, so this would just be a straight up 50-50.
G2 are stone cold. Looks like they might have found the angle. Lockup is there, immediate fall from Labrov. Chovy's not gonna have a chance to respond. The CC flawless! Hans on a rampage. G2 finding the angle. The patience, the discipline around the objective, unseen in play-ins, comes roaring out on the main stage, but it's Labrov again, over-eager. The Elder still critical, untaken, for now uncontested.
Oh, Canyon on vision. Obviously going to try and look for the steal. I don't think he should be allowed to approach this. BrokenBlade standing guard.
But it's a 2. BrokenBlade has to retreat. Hans getting some poke down. Canyon with the flash. 5K. Caps going for the knockup. Everything used to deny this jungler access. But now no one's on the objective. No one's on the Drake. They're taking their time. Keen slowly burnt down.
That's going to be
Dragon
it.
set to fall as well. Keen running for his life. G2. Soul. Elder. 7.
Game 1 lead here.
BrokenBlade staying in the wave, quick stun.
Being
Ward
attacked.
hop over the wall. Gen G trying to collapse somewhere, look for an angle, but it does cost him a bit of damage on the top side tower because it's only Keen left to defend it.
45 seconds.
TP coming in, matched immediately by Caps. That's the ulti out from skewmond. Push back from Chovy, a solid start, but Ruler, the culling goes completely wide. Caps over the wall, looking to find a man, looking to find the knockup, but Canyon is untouched for now. G2 descending into the base, and it's all eyes on the BrokenBlade, leaping forward. Ruler can't get it done. G2 in game 1. Not a single person predicting in their favor on the desk, but they managed to find a way. And the confidence on this lineup as they close this game, as they draw first blood in this best of 5.
As the TP comes in, Canyon may be in trouble.
Canyon, Labrov just able to hit the edge on the knockup. Canyon still only level 4, flashing over the wall. Knock back onto BrokenBlade. Duro using him as a taxi to try to make it out to safety. Doesn't have the Scuttle Crab in his favor though, so no extra movement speed, and he will get taken down. And
Slight gold lead, but the bot lane just can't move.
Ruler.
Yeah, they're gonna
Chovy committed to recalling though.
maybe look for one. Chovy does have TP.
Will TP in. G2 might just have to be happy with that as a consolation prize, but skewmond's still sticking around, maybe hoping to find a steal. Hansama at least getting the souls. Nice engage coming in from Duro. Lock up there onto the Wukong. Chovy's ult goes in as well, and down goes skewmond. Labrov caught in the midst of the pit. Hansama laying down a bit more shielding, and it looks like Vi will fall. Canyon spit over the wall. Taken out of the pit, Hansama. Waiting for the flash to come through. Root is there. Curtains called on Labrov, and down goes the Catfish.
Here. There's a
Actually,
TP.
a bold call. TP, Galio. On the way in, BrokenBlade probably immediately going to start channeling taunt here. Locked up, beautiful CC layering, finds the taunt into Duro. The stun kind of missing from the side of Ruler, doesn't connect the snare. Now the ulti from Chovy, G2 retreating. But they've effectively lost their top laner. And Canyon's just now arriving, the equalizer's still there, the curtain call there. They got 2 ultis, but not much else to show for it as the equalizer is laid down. Canyon rooted up for a moment, Labrov taken out. Gen G in the extended fight plays so well around their cooldowns.
Being dropped.
G2 running forward. They see Chovy on the top side. They're not concerned. Excellent combo to kick things off. Equalizer follows. Caps off to the side. He's been isolated and Ruler looking to follow. Labrov resets the fight with the Devour. Gets a bit more space, but Gen G have already taken the tower, and now it's Chovy chasing through. Duro looking for another combo! The Alistar finding the angle, but they're only hitting the tankiest members. Cap still stepping forward, looking for a bit more damage, but now the curtains have been called. Body block there, Labrov getting low. Skewmond covering. G2 holding on for now, but they've lost priority. No!
Oh!
Ruler! Patience in the JDG logo!
OTP, DTP, look at the flank.
G2 trying to throw a Hail Mary here.
It's 2 of them.
Gen G committed so much to the midway play, trying to get Drake might be greedy, but G2, do they have the damage to punish? Chovy locked up. Root there, he doesn't have the ulti to escape. Skewmond now trying to get out. Keen burning everybody! The Rumble alive! Ruler's only got 2 more shots! But it might not matter. 1 more bullet to come through. The Root connecting. Ruler so damn fast. Chovy alive as well. G2 crumble!
The G2 go for the Hail Mary, the double TP. But it doesn't quite work out. Gen G, despite using so many tools, it feels like initially maybe too many on that mid lane players. Oh, Ruler.
Missile Voyage there. Q, Auto. That is a sated Kinch coin pace gold grind as Q just barely not going to hit, but now it's Hansama who's been locked up. Hansama who's getting picked in mid lane. Duro taking his sweet time trying to find more. Chovy is there. G2 just wanted a couple creeps and it might cost them their lives. This time they're playing it safe though. Ruler, you know he's thinking about it.
Caps did many times in the game, number 1.
G2 are behind in items. They're 5,000 gold down. Keen finding himself in the midst of 3. CC there, Skewmond about to follow, tries to get out before he gets burnt to death. Devour from Labrov. But it's Otacon in the meantime, an easy pickup for Gen G.
The target you're trying to burn is Canyon.
Canyon overstaying a bit here, but Ruler waiting behind. Ruler with almost 3 items ready to go. Look at the damage coming through, but Hansama still living for an extra moment. Flash forward from Ruler. Hits his mark, finds his man. Chovy going face first in the caps is a bit difficult. The damage is there from the rise, but Ruler remains uncontested. 4th shot. A brief moment to reload. Realm Warp in. Wukong delivered. But BrokenBlade out of mana. They can't find the engage. And out comes the ulti. It's Chovy on the side. Getting shot like fish in the barrel. Duro to follow through. Ruler uncontested. Chovy dishing out so much damage. Skewmond tries to get something back. He has an extra moment, but the knockup is there from Duro.
This game is going to be a lot more happy. He's again a pick.
Again looking for the option onto Duro. They get the ulti. 2-man knockup. Ruler forced to back away. Lock into the Iron Solar he used. Duro will fall.
Oh, you got to pull the trigger. Looks like they don't want to take the risk either.
Chovy.
Maybe trusting in the Hans.
No getting out of this one. Chovy damage coming through. BrokenBlade wants to save the day, but Ruler just cannot miss in this game. Skewmond called out, knocked down, fakes the stealth, but Canyon's not falling for it. Knock up there on Ruler, maybe it can be the turning factor. It's all eyes on Caps. Caps who has to do the damage. Caps who cannot afford to be burnt down by Keen. Labrov buys him an extra moment, but Canyon's already there. Caps running for his life, but it's just not enough.
That might have been the difference maker. If they get him, it could be something, but instead...
Another fight. Equalizer from Keen to kick things off. Long range route coming in from Ruler. Follow up from Duro. BrokenBlade locked up. Goes golden. Labrov, 2 seconds on the ulti. Can try to save him, but if you use that ulti, you know it's easy pickings for Canyon in the next fight. Caps on the side.
Chovy's pushing.
Yeah, Chovy is pushing. It's just 4 members. Chovy denying so much gold. Set to get this tower for free. The 3 grubs they secured earlier in the game, but G2 know they need a Hail Mary. They need a desperation play. Flash forward from Caps. Root onto Ruler. Lockup coming in from Hansama. He might be vulnerable on the backside, but all that matters is killing this AD carry. G2 find their man, but now it's Chovy in the fight. Chovy who deletes Hansama. Canyon follow-up. Duro there as well, trying to lock down the Rise. Keen gonna follow up as well. Caps, not enough room to play, but the top from BrokenBlade is big. He's burning in the midst of it all, though. And again, it is Gen G who will not falter. And Chovy with the quadra. The G2 can throw back at him. That's Canyon waiting off to the side. Happy to trade his ultimate for Labrov's if he needs to. Equalizer used. Gen G immediately pull the trigger, finding multiple members. The ults are beautiful, but it's BrokenBlade with a 3-man knockup. Hansama for now uncontested. Caps burned down again. The curtain call coming in. Ruler untouched, undaunted, unfazed by a single loss. Gen G, one final moment, taking their time. Skewmond desperately trying to make the difference with the base in tatters in front of them. Gen G fire back in game 2 and tie. It's such a gamble. G2 are kind of forced to make this play because already BrokenBlade is conceding on the other side of the map. They're trying to burst through Duro in the meantime. Luckily, he gets the Aftershock down, so it's taking a bit of time from the side of G2. Cataclysm goes in. Knock up there. Skewmond grabs the first. Good that G2 get the kill, but conceding the tower, definitely not ideal. And now Canyon, with the Herald he grabs earlier, is set to break mid. Hansama has to be careful. Immediately tries to get out. Skewmond isolated on the side. Good damage coming in from Ruler, and down he goes. Oh, Canyon! I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was intentional, because if that was intentional, that was insanely BM. Canyon either styling or misstepping, but it doesn't matter, because either way he got the kill, and he's just riding! Disgusting. Like that was a nasty play as Labrov's been caught out. Canyon finds another alongside Chovy, and it's Caps in the meantime. Otacon backing him up, lowering some of those resistances, but he has to get the hell out. Canyon still going, completely fearless, styling, dashes through, kick back! The mental damage, let alone the physical damage. Canyon just keeps coming. Ruler in the meantime finds the isolated target. It's a shutdown for Hansama, but Chovy responds with a great kill, and Skewmond will die in the meantime. And
oh, the TP.
Chovy isolated on side. BrokenBlade, a lot of CC, should just be able to run him down. Flashing over, looks like the pick on the side lane. Shut down for G2. No ultis though.
You gotta try.
No ulti on the Victor, ulti on the Ezreal might do a little bit of damage, but they're already being shepherded back into the pit. Ulti goes in from Labrov just to get a bit of space. Keen in the face of multiple members of G2 is not taking any damage. BrokenBlade to the back line. No!
That's free!
Into the wall. Fall from Skewmond onto 2, but Keen again! The Cassante just generating so much space. They finally hit the combo, but it's too damn late. Gen G, more powerful. Finding the angles. Hansama running Keen. Playing greedy, playing aggressive, unafraid. It might cost him his life though. Steps back into Canyon. Canyon flash forward. One more out to get it done. Hoping to find a kick locked up into the tower, but Ruler is here to finish the job. Labrov knocked down 2 for Ruler. And in the midst of it all, it's Chovy looking to land the death blow, pushing down in the mid lane.
Chovy shows up wondering what happened to the party. He thought he was invited. But Gen G already cleaned up everything, as this game number 2 was an immense blowout, Dracos.
Game 2 was dominant. Game 3 was a slaughter. Gen G move on to match. Seems like everything has gone wrong for the side of G2. Labrov walking into face check. Level 3 gets punched into the wall. Hansama immediately flicked back. Caps is here.
Skewmond to
Labrov
steal.
still relatively okay. Skewmond walking in, hoping to get the steal, and he's going to take it. But they're losing kills. They've given so much just to contest. Hansama forced to flash out. Keen, low on mana. Flash forward from Labrov, determined to get it. Just wants to keep going forward. Labrov getting lower and lower. Hansama waiting over the wall. He might just die in an instant, but the Q, the Acathian Rain almost gets the job done. Finally, Keen goes down. G2 trying to fight their way through the deficit. Just keep going.
Big chunks.
Nice gold card onto Chovy, trying to outspace here. Unraveled Earth there. And Chovy just speeding off into distance. Power of that phase rush. Skewmond hits him with the what? The flash forward! BrokenBlade just using it for a bit of extra healing. The Corki pressure, still pretty massive. Conqueror proc doesn't have Triforce yet, but still really starting to hurt.
It's the gold, right? As Ruler
caught out. Gold card wasn't ready for it. Chovy's here, but it might be too late. One more auto coming in. The Infernal Chains bring him right back into the waiting arms of BrokenBlade.
And they might get this dragon. And yeah, it's Cloud. That feels...
Canyon.
Oh, Canyon.
The 50-50. Skewmond manages to get it. And now the immediate retreat, but the mid lane tower already gone. Ruler does a lot of damage. Duro knockback, but doesn't find Hansama into the wall. Canyon going forward will get BrokenBlade. Big damage, and Ruler just allowed to free hit. Skewmond, though, continuing to walk forward. Skewmond completely unconcerned about the damage. Duro goes down. Canyon likely next. He's getting next to the wall because he desperately needs to run away, but Skewmond is on the chase. Going where he damn well pleases, but he's on the opposite side of the wall, and now it's Chovy. Looking to engage. BrokenBlade taking massive damage. The Aatrox likely to fall. Flash away.
That blazes. Gen G, they just keep setting up these traps, and it looks like Caps has fallen for it again.
Got out. Has the ulti, but the CC held.
They're not going to use... Oh, yeah. Not waiting until the end. Mid once Hans gets a little bit further in, is the TP.
Trying to find the engage. Labrov to the side, locking down Canyon. Gold card ready to go. Impale only going to connect on one. Skewmond here as well. Canyon going to get taken down. Kill donated to... As far, Caps immediately going bot lane. Keen, the member who doesn't have that extra lockup, doesn't have the extra cleanse, and he's going to get taken down. But Genji immediately pulled the trigger in the meantime. It's eyes in the mid lane. As Ruler will find Skewmond. Manages to connect. No immediate follow-up. Chovy for now uncontested. Flash from Labrov keeps him safe. BrokenBlade in the pit. Hansama and Caps on the side. Chovy focused on the objective. The Bear and the Smites are bad, but they managed to get it in the end. Canyon takes the objective. BrokenBlade free firing. Caps still standing. Duro down. BrokenBlade still going. Flashing out. Caps can't go toe-to-toe with Canyon, but the gold card might be able to buy him a bit of a second, a bit more time. It's still the Baron down.
Death cap for Chovy as well.
Flicked back. And he's just going to die in the blink of an eye. A blinking health bar. He'll live. It's close.
Not even close. Round two.
That's twice. If he was a cat, he'd be 7 out of 9 lives down at this point. Caps, flash to the side, gets away from the Impale, but Gen G looks like they're just going for the throat. They want to end it here. Game 1, G2 managed to find the advantage, managed to find the win. But since then, it's been Gen G from start to finish. Ruler isolated wall from Canyon to keep him standing. It's Hansama!
Oh!
Chovy's damage. Doing the work, knockup going in from Duro. Labrov trying to retreat, that's the ulti. Canyon ready to go forward. Chovy just continues to lay down the poke. And Gen G, merciless as they march into the base of G2.
And G2, they gave it their all, but even the early leads, not enough as Gen G marched on the base. Caps behind them.
Caps behind to go golden. Managed to buy the Seekers just in time for the flick back. Skewmond in the midst of the team. BrokenBlade standing, but as long as Ruler's alive, that healing reduction is just too much. The front line of G2 slowly being whittled away. Duro taking down the tower, set to fall. Keen jumping in. Finding the kill is Skewmond. There's nothing left. He's taken out. Gen G send a statement to the rest of MSI. We will not falter.
The flank, but he roots him up defensively. FlyQuest bringing in the backup. Q hits BrokenBlade and Labrov. BrokenBlade here on the very front line. Decimate's not going to find him. Caps and Labrov putting a little bit of damage into Quad. They're going to catch him out on the very side of the fight. Miasma to lock him up, but he flashes away. Now Skewmond's ready to come in here with a Nature's Grasp. G2, beautiful start to the fight as Bwippo tries to get away, but it's first blood over to Hansama. Quad very low as he tries to escape, and G2 get a one for nothing.
G2 draw them in. FlyQuest trying to go around this wall here. Bwippo wanted to cut off the Casio that had no flash, but G2 was right there, Vedius, and so they blast him down, and they're going to be able to take this dragon, unless Masu can snipe it.
Tower ranges Masu now. There's no way out of that one. Beautiful angle from Labrov. The Varus might have range.
Find.
All right, Bwippo. Let's see if he can try to get out of this one, but with no ulti, it's going to be tough. Bwippo trying to keep the escape going here, but just turns around, goes for the decimating smash on the Caps. He knows there's no way to escape this one. Labrov just providing enough CC there for Caps and Skewmond to be able to take down this Scion. So G2 now claims the
Hex gates to get there. Labrov is pretty far in base.
Okay, Bwippo here on the very front line. Skewmond gonna take a little bit of damage there from the Q of Busio. Quad looking for a bit more. Caps takes a chunk.
Labrov.
FlyQuest with control over the river right now. Labrov off to the side. He has regenerated his HP, but now Skewmond is down to 1/3. Inspired makes the engage on the Caps, and the Cassiopeia is already down. G2 have lost their cannon, and they're about to lose the ship. FlyQuest go in with a massive realm warp, and they're ready to chase down the rest. Labrov is caught,
how G2 reacts. And Quad now out of position.
Yeah, Quad is in some serious danger. Labrov ready to set it up and catch the rise immediately into the petrifying gaze. Quad using his arm guard for a whole lot of nothing. It's a kill plus a wasted active as FlyQuest had nobody around in time to try to back him up. G2 with a huge pick on the FlyQuest mid laner. Now trying to make an approach towards the Baron as Busio and Masu try to pelt them with skill shots on their approach. Whippo and Inspired making their way up. But keep your eyes on BrokenBlade. He's coming around from the side, but Inspired's ready to intercept him. Busio trying to get away. He's caught at the very edge of the Nature's grasp. BrokenBlade is low, but it does not matter. He's Aatrox. He's going to heal right. Back, up. Cap's low, but not in that much danger. Seraph's giving him the shield, keeping him alive. Masu still firing. Whippo and Inspired trying to help. It's a 5v3. G2 make their way onto the Baron, and FlyQuest wants to step up to try to stop it. Masu's the only damage really remaining. Inspired tries to go in, but the Miasma's already ready to try to take care of him. Inspired throwing up the shield. Whippo and Masu stuck in the pit looking to deal with the Baron. Inspired going right back in, but he's already going to be knocked into the Guardian Angel. It's stolen away by Masu! 2v5 now. FlyQuest trying to fight back. BrokenBlade wants to get away. Inspired back to life for the Guardian Angel. FlyQuest with the miracle resist at the Baron pit.
Out looking for more, but Labrov is looking.
Masu getting caught. This is massive engage coming out from G2, but Caps takes a lot of damage before Masu dies. Whippo's made his way onto the G2 mid laner. Labrov and Caps are both low, but Caps still standing for now. Finally going to be brought down. Busio taking the kill credits as Labrov wants to use the Crumbs as an escape mechanism, but it will not work. FlyQuest make it a 2-for-1. They've lost. Remember the side effect of the Death's Dance. Whippo trying to look for an angle here. Charges in after Labrov. The Alistar is going to be the target. Whippo's here with the front line, but now it's Inspired into the back line. Hansama with a flash away. Inspired looking to put the pressure on. Throws up the shield. Staying alive for now. Still has Guardian Angel. Doesn't have to spend it. Caps makes his way into the fight with the use of the teleport. G2 fighting back. Skewmond looking for the back line of FlyQuest. Whippo's here in the front, but he's tanking a lot of damage. Skewmond putting the pressure on, but the firepower from FlyQuest is massive. Skewmond barely staying alive. The curtain call is open, but the show does not go on. FlyQuest continuing to retreat. BrokenBlade wants the Q2, but he won't hit the sweet spot. FlyQuest don't lose anybody. G2 don't lose anybody, but it's BrokenBlade has made his TP in. Whippo's already charging forward here with the ulti. The Baron down to about half HP. FlyQuest coming around. Remember, Inspired still has the Guardian Angel. Whippo here in the front. Nice punt away coming out from Labrov. G2 still going in, looking to take the Baron. It's secured by skewmond. G2's going to try to fight their way out now as skewmond is locked up in the room prison, and FlyQuest bursts him down. Labrov has the unbreakable will, but FlyQuest will break him anyway. FlyQuest now with a 5v3. G2's got the Baron, but you know FlyQuest is going to look for something in the base.
I mean, G2 do deny the objective, but it is FlyQuest that have the numbers advantage. They've been winning out every single one of these fights. And while the last one was very close and all was really dying, a lot of summoner spells were used. Flash and Cleanse, unavailable for Hansama. While the Flash is up for Caps, I feel like FlyQuest don't have to hesitate.
Nope, they won't. As soon as you say it, Betty, Caps is already under the pressure from Inspired. Another Grand Starfall makes its entry. Another death for the Cassiopeia. FlyQuest will claim the mid lane inhibitor as Hans opens up the curtain call. He'll try to clear the wave a little bit with it, but Inspired doesn't care. FlyQuest in a 5v2. Hans and BrokenBlade, nowhere to go. FlyQuest now onto the Nexus itself as Hans is forced back into the fountain, and FlyQuest take game one.
In saying that there's a lot of expectations on both these top laners' shoulders. It was Whippo that came out the gate swinging in game one. The health bar's getting lower and lower. Oh, keeping your eyes on Inspired here. Look, he's setting up for an invade. He's trying to steal away that Gromp.
Oh, very early.
Get it.
Nicely done from Inspired, but now in the bottom lane, Busio's about to die! First blood over to G2! Nicely done, as Masu wants to try to get something back, but the only thing he's gonna get is a trip to the graveyard! Yes, you're up in levels, but you're in a 1v2. Now Quad in some danger, as G2 hanging around. There's nothing else to look at in the other side of the river, so G2 are gonna look at this instead. Busio gets crashed down on by Labrov, but Masu misses the center route. Hansama is here. level 6 on the Corki. The rocket poke can be very, very devastating. Han's gonna try to steal one of those grubs away there with a Phos Bomb, but it doesn't hit with the timing. Now that last grub, the target here for FlyQuest. Whippo's coming up around the side. FlyQuest looking to go in as Quad finds the engage. Follow up there with a Cyclone, and Hans is already down. Nice damage coming in from the Wukong, but now Caps is between worlds. Labrov is low. Caps has to go back over the wall, and BrokenBlade has found his way into the middle of the fight, but Busio is already out. FlyQuest get a kill, get the grubs, and sure, he doesn't give Whippo any more ticks on the spin. G2 starting up the second Drake of the game, now immediately turning for the engage onto Inspire. He drops the clone, he tries to get back away, and skewmond's gonna be killed instead. Masu rotates into the fight, and Quad and Busio are looking at Labrov. Han Sama flying away as Busio and Quad go on a magical journey, and Labrov gets away to safety underneath the tier 1 turret. Han Sama continuing his retreat. Bo starting to use the spin before BrokenBlade enters into the scrap there with a Pathmaker, but it's G2 who want to find the kill here onto the Garen. Immediately, skewmond makes the engage. Whippo is low, flashing away, trying to finding some sort of an outplay, but immediately BrokenBlade goes all out. Skewmond, though, trying to get himself away as Busio wants to get one back, but the kill credit over to Caps is right where G2 wants the money.
Strong play there from G2 up on the top side to get it and get out. They, as you say, it does cost them one flash. Now Busio in the middle.
Nice play coming out from Labrov, and immediately BrokenBlade looking to slam Busio back into the wall, but Busio with a 2-man stun, ready to set it up as Caps goes between worlds. Busio gets away underneath the turret. The tempered fade is perfect. Inspired, needing one more hit on Labrov. He'll get the kill. Busio stays alive. Inspired about to die to Han Sama. There's dead bodies on both sides as Quad keeps chasing Hans, but it won't matter. There's no more opportunity here for a kill, and
we'll see if it comes to fruition now as the root comes through.
Yeah, Labrov getting bound up. Chain CC, he could be your opportunity to take the lead.
Busio hovering here too. Watch out for the Bard ultimate.
Inspired, gonna find skewmond there as he clones back over the wall, but now Quad could be in danger. Immediately drops the combo onto G2, but instead it's the full engage. Tempered Fate looking to stuff that engage now as Han Sama's under pressure, but Inspired has to try to get away. The Senna ulti over the top, as now the turret is destroyed into the bottom lane at the same time. G2, they get the shutdown back on the Quad's Annie. It's 1 kill so far. 2 moving up with a full 5-man roster to try to stop it, as Whippo immediately tries to engage on the Caps and Hans, but Whippo's gonna be isolated. Immediately the Senna ulti trying to reinforce FlyQuest top laner, but he's going to be taken out before anything else happens. FlyQuest in some trouble. BrokenBlade here with the front line, goes all out and he manages to stay alive. He's going to kill Quad. BrokenBlade popping off. G2 slamming the fight. The target selection was better, and G2 hold on. FlyQuest is on the approach, but the Otacon is already low. Labrov goes in for the engage on Busio, but he gets away on a magical journey. BrokenBlade here to front line now, as Whippo's already spinning on top of him. The Garen damage is big, but BrokenBlade still getting himself away. The Otacon is claimed by G2. BrokenBlade still the target, likely to be the sacrificial lamb. Continues running, trying to waste as much time as possible here on the FlyQuest side. BrokenBlade still clearing the distance. Inspired can catch up, finds the last hit there for the shutdown. Whippo and Quad are way too far forward. Quad's already going to be killed as Busio finds a big tempered fate, but Whippo's going to die now too. Skewmond heals with the triumph, but he does not die. FlyQuest solo laners go in alone. Masu and Inspired now ready to try to follow up, but Han Sama's already able to make the distance. Labrov with a crash down over the wall.
Win before Dragon, stopping the soul stacking and getting the Otacon. Whippo is at it again though.
Yeah, Whippo wants to go in after Hans. Tempered Fate finds the Corki, but nobody else. FlyQuest going in. Inspired ready here with a Cyclone. Han Sama's already down. Masu trying to get away from Labrov. Looks for a little bit more damage. If they can kill the Rel too, that's going to be huge. Whippo goes in for the Stride Breaker. A little bit more damage is there, and Masu's already got the kill. Now BrokenBlade about to die here too. It's 3-0 for FlyQuest. They make the quick. A phenomenal engage on the side of G2. The MasterCard priceless moment of the game, the Dragon Soul for FlyQuest now, but could there be a counterpunch? Quad's in danger. The engage from G2 this time onto the FlyQuest mid. He's gonna die immediately. Whippo and Inspired looking to turn things around, maybe under skewmond. A little bit more damage is needed, and Whippo's already got the kill there with Demacia and Justice. Now BrokenBlade still here on the front. Labrov takes another hit over the head from Wukong. Masu has joined the fight. BrokenBlade's gotta make some distance, but another Tempered Fate locks up G2. Han Sama hit with a binding, but they can't follow it up with enough damage. Masu's got a lot of range on Senna now, and BrokenBlade is low. Masu getting himself away as Inspired drops the clone to drop the aggro. Now, Whippo still spinning around, but it's only minions under fire. FlyQuest dancing with the line here between greatness and disaster. G2 low on health, backing up. FlyQuest still with the Baron. Caps with the Aurora Burst.
18 stacks on his Medjay Soul Stealer here.
Yep.
And since they got the feats, they also have the upgraded boots.
But we're already into a fight. Inspired finds the engagement of Caps and Labrov. Caps gets himself away. Inspired takes a massive chunk, but Labrov is the one whose body hits the floor. Not a lot. The Cloud Soul obviously being a much bigger difference maker. Silence onto BrokenBlade from Whippo, but now G2 ready to step in. Caps goes between worlds and Masu's already almost dead. Down to 200 HP. Quad's already eliminated, but now Caps is also dead. Masu continuing to fire. Surviving by 100 was enough, and Labrov is about to die next. FlyQuest turn around. G2, they try to pick Masu. They fall ever so short, but it is just enough for FlyQuest.
The front line for FlyQuest does so much there. The double spinning to winning is able to cut through them, and Masu actually survived the entire thing, kiting back, and with the sustain, and with the peel.
Turrets in two separate lanes.
Baron buff on the minions with the Elder Dragon on themselves, so threatening.
And they immediately decide to go in for the engage. G2 under pressure, Dawning Shadow, gonna guarantee the first kill. Skewmond's already down and Inspired is legendary. BrokenBlade goes all out as Whippo's gonna be in some danger. The shutdown credit goes over to Labrov. Inspired is far forward. He's likely to burn down here, but he's already got the Guardian Angel. BrokenBlade continuing to kite out, but it's not enough. FlyQuest lose their top laner, but they'll take BrokenBlade and Skewmond in trade. Fly, they still have the Baron. They still have the Elder. They still have themselves set up in the enemy base. Inspired, low on HP, stealing away some camps to try to heal back up, while the rest of FlyQuest continues pushing Nexus turrets. Masu has so much range, G2 can't get anywhere near it. The Nexus already under fire. Quad with the engage, the Elder with the execute, and FlyQuest on the game-winning push for match point.
Oh boy. They're going for the maiden first.
Okay. Whippo's maiden at 500 HP. Whippo trying to keep this wave from crashing into the turret. Drops the cage, but Whippo's down to 300 HP. Ardentblaze does hit him. Skewmond taking damage there from the turret. Whippo kills him! Skewmond gives a free one over, and Whippo buries him there with a shovel. Now up in the top side. It's one traded back, but they still get the dive.
Then you have the full wards on jungle, and they actually have a couple of options to themselves. Whippo here trading again, and Skewmond actually visits, but Inspired is here covering.
Yeah, BrokenBlade goes for the rupture, does not hit it. Whippo getting away, but he's already...
Lose that dragon. Wait a second.
Quad's in danger, BrokenBlade. He has his feast ready. The rupture silences him up, beats him down.
Really where you want this Akali to be. Ooh,
Lucio in trouble. Pop Blossom as he's about to die. Pillar to make a little bit of extra distance, but Skewmond's already got the first kill. Now Masu's the next target. Whippo and Inspired trying to protect their AD carry as G2 comes to life. A 5-man play around the bottom lane tier 1 turret. They might look to go for the dive. Caps coming around from the side. Masu knows he has to try to walk this one out the long way. Labrov and Caps isolated. Labrov trapped inside the Yorick cage. Labrov dies. Teleport coming in for FlyQuest, and now it'll be
G2 have right now.
Okay, the feats have been good.
Ooh, no
hey,
flash.
BrokenBlade with a knockup. Now G2's coming in. They found Whippo.
Yeah.
This could be the fight they need right there. Caps gets the kill.
On 2 and pieces.
This next fight, man, I feel like it could very easily go either way. Caps is still top side. He's got his teleport if he needs it. He wants to go after the tier 1 turret to get the gold a little bit closer. He will find his target. Inspired steps forward, but a quick burst of damage coming out from Hansama. Now Labrov's got to be careful. He finds a dredge line, but he immediately has to flash back out. Labrov is already down. Quad grabbing the kill on that one. Caps makes his way in with a TP. Can he find the flank? BrokenBlade flashing away, barely staying alive. Masu jumping in, needs a little bit more damage, and Masu's already got the kill. G2 are going to get wiped off Summoner's Rift. FlyQuest find the moment instantly.
FlyQuest will steamroll G2 as they march towards the Nexus.
It's only Caps left standing. He jumps in, but it will not matter. The last golden statue is buried. The latest chapter of the rivalry is written as an epitaph for Europe, and FlyQuest eliminates G2 from MSI.